Hello and welcome back, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our American listeners. We are so grateful for each and every one of you every week tuning in to hear us, and just want to send you all the love and gratitude, not just today, but every day. But today's a great day to be extra grateful. How you doing, Kaylee?
I am doing amazing. How are you, Sarah?
So good, so good. Really starting to get into the festivities around here. It's still no snow, which I'm okay with. Hoping that the snow will come closer to Christmas.
Yeah, it's been raining here too, but so grateful for all the weather, eh? It's so awesome to see all different times of the year. But anyways, today we're so excited to talk about your inner dialogue around Thanksgiving and being grateful and being aware of our inner talk because it's honestly what does like our inner talk is honestly the results we're ever going to get in our life. So we have to be cautious and pay attention to what it is that we're telling ourselves.
Yep. I was going to bed last night and I worked out yesterday, and I've been putting my workouts on the back burner and like really focusing on my business, and then I was going to bed last night and I was like, I'm really thankful for my body and that and my ability to sleep. Like, I am such a great sleeper, and I'm so privileged to be able to do that because I know there's so many people out there who, suffer from insomnia, don't really get a chance to sleep. And that's something that I'm so grateful for, is that my body works so well, and it's so healthy, and that I'm able to, carry my weight around, and I'm able to sleep good, and I'm able to digest my food properly. And I was just thinking about and sending love to all the people out there who, don't have that. And a lot of people look at me and they think, well, you're really overweight and you're unhealthy, but I'm actually really healthy. And sometimes I take that for granted. And so my focus going into 2022 for me is going to be all about health.
Yeah. Health is honestly there's so many different aspects to your health, right? And health is the only thing you have. If you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. And that's physically and mentally, right? So physically, it's like what are you fueling yourself with? What are you surrounding yourself with? But mentally, it's how are you talking to yourself when you have this little goal and you do something that's not moving you towards it, like treating yourself to a snack that you normally wouldn't have. Like, are you beating yourself up? How are you talking to yourself when that happens? Or not even just health, but anything in your life. Like, you know, it's not always where you have to judge yourself. Like, we need the society nowadays, everybody judges their self.
And like everything is filtered now, right? Like, you don't even need to wear makeup anymore because you there's filters for everything. Some people don't even look the same when they have filter or without a filter. So it
Yeah.
is, it's really like loving yourself. Like, we're not all meant to look like those filters. Like, we are meant to look the way we are. Like, this is how God made us, right? This is how the universe put us here to be different. And
Yeah.
it's fun.
And a really big thing that everybody needs to start doing is celebrating like the little things, right? Because so many people get caught up on how we always talk about having a big goal. Like you want to always be focused on your big goal and taking the steps to get there. But a lot of people don't celebrate until they reach that big goal. But
Yep.
there's so many steps to get there that need to be celebrated too, because what happens is, and you can probably say yes to this, Sarah, is that in your past, because I know you celebrate every step now, but it's like, say there's 10 steps to get to your goal and you do 8 of them perfectly and maybe 2 of them the path changed or something happened that it didn't work out, and because of those 2 things that didn't work out exactly how you had planned, then you beat yourself up and you're like, why the fuck, or holy shit, or you start the negative talk and the self-doubt. But why, right? We're so quick to judge the mistakes in our life, and we're not quick enough to be excited for ourselves, excited for our progress, and happy for ourselves for doing the steps that do work.
Yeah. And so one of my favorite quotes is own your failure and you'll own your success. Right.
Yeah.
And so I was always the person like, when I get to here, I'll be happy. When I do this, I'll be happy. When I finish this, I'll be happy. When I reach this milestone, I'll be happy. But guess what? You reach the milestone and then what? Then you're unhappy because you're not working towards another goal. Right. So it's just about being 1% better. I was having a conversation. Who was I having a conversation with?
So many people.
Somebody. And I was it's a girlfriend of mine, I remember. I was having a conversation and I was telling her, I'm like, I spent all this money on this gym. It was a huge accomplishment of mine. It was on my vision board. I wanted to do it. I paid cash for it. I built this gym and now I'm not even using it. I'm not even using it like I should be. And I make excuses because my husband does personal training and it's always busy. But like then at like 7 o'clock comes around, and I'm always like, it's too late. I just want to sit after my day of sitting and watch TV. So now I've changed that mindset. I started writing out why I'm grateful for my body and how I can honor my body. You know, they always say your body is your temple, right? And I didn't understand that, but it is. And it's being grateful. So your body is digesting food right now without you even having to tell it what to do. It's running blood to your heart without telling it, "Hey, can you put blood here in this organ?" All of your organs are working together without you having to do that. And I'm so grateful for that every single day because mine are in perfect working order. Right? There's so many people out there who aren't. And so just can you imagine if you just sat and were grateful for that? Like that changes your entire perspective. So yesterday I got into the gym and then Donnie and I worked out. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just do some dancing because I love dancing and I'm in here. So then I started dancing and I was like, makes you feel good.
Yeah, it does. And when you, like you said, Sarah, when you sit and you're very in tune and you're thinking about all the deep thoughts about like exactly what you said, how perfect your body is and how it's running, like you make better choices too because you're like, wow, I am so grateful for this healthy body that I live in. I'm going to start fueling it better because I appreciate that it's working so well for me, right? Instead of fueling it with shit and expecting it to run premium,
Yeah. It's
right?
so true. Like last night I was so grateful. Like I had like tears running down my face and like I was like, there are people out there who don't get to sleep in a bed, don't get to sleep, right? Don't have a roof over their head. And it just I woke up this morning and I was like, I need to do something about this. I need to give. Like, what can I do? And so I contacted my local community and I'm like, I need a family who, might not be able to do Christmas this year. Can you put me in contact with them? I want to give them a turkey and all the sides and gifts so that they can create a memory and they can have this memory forever. Like, what can I do to give back? Because I am very blessed and grateful. And I have gone through some shit. Let me tell you, I've gone through shit. Like, and I'm still going through shit, right? Like, it's all about learning lessons, and it's it's a fucking wild ride. Let me tell you. But to be able to sit and be grateful for everything that I've gone through, and still be able to, give back or help out is like, this is why we're here.
You know what, Sarah? That's so strong and so powerful is the fact that you just said like you've been through shit, you're still going through shit, but look at you. You're choosing. And this is the thing that we drill into what we teach is you get to choose where you put your attention, right? Like you said, you're still going through shit, but you're not focusing on that. You're focusing on helping and giving back and knowing that you are grateful for, like you just said, the lessons of the shit you're going through. So you're looking at the positive, even though it's happening and you can't control that, you're looking at the positive of it. And that's what we want to talk about is how are you talking to yourself and what are you saying to yourself when things in your life happen that aren't planned or not the best situation, right? We can't control everything, but what we can control is our thoughts and how we speak to ourselves. And the biggest thing that was like my aha moment when I started listening to my thoughts was when I had the negative thoughts come in and I started doubting myself or tearing myself down for, not doing something right or saying I was going to do something and I just didn't get to it because it was so busy, I was like, why am I talking to myself this way? Right? Like, would I say this to my husband? Would I say it to my kids? Would I say it to my friend? No. But so why am I talking to myself this way? So when I started to sit down and be in tune with my thoughts and really monitor my thoughts when something didn't go right, and I started having the negative self-talk and the self-doubt, it's like, why am I saying that? But being so quick that when you start to practice it and you recognize it, that's when you can change it right away and not accept that thought. And that's slowly how you change it.
So my book is being released, so I got the printed version today. It's so
Yeah. I'm so
yeah,
excited.
it's amazing. I'm in the middle of writing my second book now. And I was reading my chapter this morning because I was like, oh, it's in print. I got to read it again. And I talked about when I hit a really big depression. All I thought about was death, like death, and like why are we here, and what's the purpose, what's the point, and like suffering, right? Because we do look around and we do see suffering, but there's a hell of a lot more good in this world when you can change your perspective and turn off the fucking news and go out and find that love. And like last night I was again laying in bed. Laying in bed when I'm going to sleep is like where I'm most grateful. And when I wake up, it's when I'm most grateful. Like in the morning and at night is like my highest gratitude. I'm grateful all day, but it's when I'm really thinking because I'm not doing other things, right? That to occupy myself. And so I was like, okay, so if today was my last day and I don't wake up tomorrow, did I live the way I wanted to? Yes, I did. I lived with love. I had my husband. We worked out. We laughed. We giggled. We ate good meals, and like it was great. I wasn't worried about, okay, does this bill need to be paid? Property taxes need to be paid. Like, if I go, that's it. Everything stays behind, right? I can't take any of this with me. I can't take my bills with me. I can't take the suffering with me. I can't take the anger with me. It's just, I'm gone. And
Mhm.
that's how I think that we should all live our day. And we all know that famous quote, live as if today was your last day, live as if you were dying, right? Why does it take for something dramatic to happen in order for us to live?
Yeah. It's so true, right? And you see it all the time, and it's honestly just the programming in everybody's life to think that they have to live a certain way. Like, the mentality and the mindset of such a big part of the population has the mindset that you literally can't live the way you want to until you're retired. Like, honestly, if you think of your entire family, everybody you know, your friends, your family, how many people are living that way? Like, a hell of a lot of them. My mom and dad do. My entire family does. It's that you play on the weekend, work hard, play hard, right? How many people say that? Work hard, play hard. So you're working hard all week, you're playing on the weekend, and you're really going to play when you worked hard your whole life. Well, I have to say, when I worked full time in a group home, this was one of the biggest eye openers I ever had. So I had my boss there was like a best friend, and we had a friendship and a business relationship. But it was so sad to me that she was going through these health issues. And also talking about health and being grateful for our bodies, she, as well as the older population, like my parents' age, forget what they're called, the baby boomers,
Yeah.
a lot of them, they don't address problems, especially health problems. I'm fine, nothing's wrong. Anyways, I had my son, I went off on mat leave. Noah was, I think, a month old, and I got a phone call that she had died. And I was like, I still don't believe it because I never went back to work to face her not ever being there again. But I was like, holy shit, man. So many people have the mentality to live your whole life working, play on the weekend. She was doing good. She lost so much weight. She was healthy, but she was stressed to the max with work and bosses and people telling her what to do, how to be, that she was thinking about work all the time when she wasn't at work. And it literally killed her.
Yep.
Like, it literally killed her. I know so many people who have this mentality of work your whole life to retire and do what you want. But do you know how many people actually retire to live and see retirement? I know so many people the last few years who haven't made it to retirement because they've died.
My grandfather retired and he died 9 months later. My dad's the first girlfriend I ever remember my dad dating. We were close, and I found her on Facebook. I don't know why I found her on Facebook, and she has cancer, and she's actually in hospice right now. I'm not sure if she's passed yet. I haven't heard, but she never got to retire. And
Yep.
she worked her whole life living pay to pay, living in a small apartment. And this is how it ends, right?
Yeah, like, it's
It's
so sad. It's so sad, and this has me in gratitude to realize my power at such a young age. Because I have to tell you, Sarah, if I didn't find you, personally you, and I didn't go on this I'm gonna cry, I don't know why. But if I didn't find you and didn't go on this journey, like, that would be me. I would still be working that job. I'd still be having that mentality. I would never see my kids. Like, so full of gratitude for the life we choose. And that's like my biggest thing that I want the world to hear. Like, you choose the way you live. Stop living your life by somebody else's handbook. If you don't like your job, sit down today and think of other things you can do. Like, there's always a way. There's always a way to do something different. If you're not happy, you can change that.
Someone once asked me, they're like, because we've talked about this before. Money comes through your employer. It does not come from your employer. Your employer has to go get money somewhere, which usually comes from a client, right? Money comes from sales and customers, and then they pay you. And somebody once told me when I was working a job I hated, okay, you have a gun to your head and you have a week to make $50,000. What are you doing? You have a week to feed your kids. What are you doing? Look at that mentality, right? Jobs are less than 100 years old. Less than 100 years we have been working for somebody else. Prior to the Great Depression, humanity worked for themselves. We were blacksmiths and grocers and, carpenters and farmers. We worked for ourselves. And here's why I'm going to tell you why I love TikTok. I love TikTok because I see so many entrepreneurs showcasing their skills. I was on a conversation with somebody this week, and I said, okay, you're not happy in your job. If you had all the time and money in the world and nothing could get in your way, what would you like to do? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, okay, what hobbies do you? Well, I love crafting. Well, guess what? There are people out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars with their crafts. Like, it's unbelievable to watch. You don't need this job for security. Because let me tell you, security gets you nowhere. It just gets you depressed.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's so, like, tough to watch is it's different because my perspective now is completely different from before, right? So now with the perspective that I have that it's easy to be successful, it's not hard, it doesn't have to be, and you can love what you're doing and be successful. That's the biggest thing, but it's like, why is it that people, like you just said, Sarah, have to have a gun to their head and be like, make the decision now, or their life literally hits rock bottom before they make the tough decisions? Like, you're making a tough decision every day doing something you don't love. So why are you waiting until you're literally rock bottom, not happy whatsoever, to make that decision? If you're not the slightest bit happy and you're literally not a 10 and there's wiggle room to be happy, then do something about it now. Don't wait until you're a 0.
Look what just came up on my phone. So I get those daily, like those affirmations that pop up, daily gratitude.
Yeah.
I let go of all the reasons and excuses for not improving my life.
I swear that app can hear us talk.
It does hear us talking. Like when it needs us.
Yeah.
And so, my dad my dad didn't grow up in a he grew up in a poorer type of household. They ran a farm. He didn't have running water in the house till he was 12 years old, like no electricity, like was a farmer. And when he was 18, he moved to Toronto and he started on the docks, right? He worked on the docks just like everybody else down at the terminal. And he worked his way up and he spent 38 years at the same company. 38 years, and made just over $100,000 in 38 years. And I have a video. I was his date for his Christmas party a couple of years ago, probably about 5 years ago now. Yeah, it's got to be about 5 years ago now. And they recognized him for 38 years of service. And he went up and he hugged his boss, who's an asshole, but whatever. And then he got really sick, and now he's on disability. And do you think one person that worked with him has reached out to him?
No.
No, no, because he was just a number. And he literally sacrificed his health. He sacrificed recitals. He worked 7 days a week. On Saturdays, our daddy daughter date was me coming to his office so that he could stay on top of paperwork. And his love language was like, I need to do more so I could be recognized more.
Yeah.
And what do? They take away bonuses. They take away all the Christmas gifts. He used to get amazing Christmas gifts. Like back in the day, people used to, when companies used to allow it, they used to send like gift baskets and like tickets to the hockey game and basketball game. Well, they take away all that recognition, right? We used to get free produce. They take away all that. So they take away everything and pile on more work.
Mm-hmm.
And more work causes more stress. And so now here he is on disability, just living out the rest of his life.
Yeah. And it's sad, right? It's completely sad because so many people put literally their lives into a company. And I want to get this straight too. Like, we're not saying everyone in this world has to be an entrepreneur, but like, if you are putting your entire life into something and you love it, then awesome. If you are literally just doing something to just do it, the thought process of like literally just having to have a job to live and do whatever, and you don't like it, then change that. Because like Sarah just said, an example of me, like I was at my job full time for 6 years, and when I left, I got the congrats from maybe 2 people.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was like
that. People thought we were nuts.
Yeah.
They tell me, well, you know what happens in small towns? They murder you and they bury you. I'm like, really? This is the mentality?
And you know what's funny too is when I worked there full time, my mentality obviously was different, but there was a lady that, like, people say it playing the system of the government, right? So she used to call in because the way it was, if you got so many hours of sick time, if you didn't use it, you didn't get any more. But if you used it, it kept accumulating and you would only max out, I think, like 400 hours. So she would use it and just call in, probably not sick, but I would get pissed off. But no, she was making decisions like, I'm working, I'm getting paid, I'm going to use that. And then employees would get pissed off, right? But that's the way it is. But like, it's smart. Like, why wouldn't you?
So smart, right?
They don't give a shit. Next month, when you called in last month and said you were sick, they don't care. They're not going to remember. But also, like, this is what I say. If you have a big goal and you're like, how do I get there? I need a job to get there. And you're doing the things and taking the steps, not necessarily loving every step, but you know you're doing it because you're going to get to your big goal. I think that's completely different than being in something just to be in it, to think you're going to be happy from it because you're going to have the money and money makes you happy, right?
Was it Warren Buffett? Use your 9 to 5 to pay bills and your 6 to 10 to pay your dreams.
Yeah, right? So that's the perspective I'm coming at right now, that if you have that big goal and like these jobs can get you a stepping stone to get there, by all means, like, do what you got to do, right? But I never want to ever see anybody go to somewhere for like 20, 30, 40 years of their life and hate it. I've had so many conversations with people that have literally worked the day they walked into that job, they knew it wasn't for them and they didn't like it. And here they are 30 years later, still walking into that job and they haven't liked it. And I'm thinking, like, 1 year of your life, like if you look back at 2021, like you have a lot of memories. You did a lot of shit, right? You look back at 30 years, what memories do you have if you gave your entire life to a job that you didn't like and you lived on the weekends?
Someone once said, live your life to be able to tell the stories to your grandkids.
Yeah.
Right? Your grandkids are going to be bored out of your mind if you said, well, I went to work, paid my job, I was broke, paid my job, and I'm here living under your roof because I can't afford to live, because
Yeah.
I didn't save enough for pension and I didn't make enough money to have any money. So this is why I live in your in-law suite in the basement.
And you know what? That's another thing is people are so not stuck, but in the mindset of they have to have a job to get that pension. Well, I've been having, again, a lot of conversations with people who are in retirement, who paid into pension, and pension isn't having them live. Like they're literally struggling through retirement because they don't have the money.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like retirement didn't go up. Retirement didn't go up, but did living? Did the cost of everything?
And it still will.
Yeah.
Like you think you're ever gonna pay low gas prices again? No, you know why? Because we get accustomed to it. Because we pay it. And because you go to work. I was having this conversation yesterday with my mortgage broker, and we were talking about rent and rent increases and stuff like that, and how tenants give landlords, like they blame the landlords, right? Well, the landlord charges too much, and it's like, well, maybe your employer doesn't pay you enough to survive, right?
Yeah.
Like you're making here, our minimum wage is $11.25. It costs $11 for a stalk of asparagus. So you literally go to work to eat one piece of healthy food. And after taxes, you're still, and then paying taxes on all the food, you're still not able to survive. Right? So when you understand that money is just coming through your employer, not from your employer, and that you can find money anywhere. There's people making money all over the world, making millions of dollars. There's a 7-year-old right now on YouTube making millions of dollars opening packages. When you change that mentality and you understand your inner dialogue and you stop trying to be perfect, when you remove perfect because it doesn't exist, and you just start living out your dream and you be 1% better, by the end of the year, you will be 365%. And here's the secret. You will never know if you don't try. Don't be scared of the F word, failure. Because failure tells you what works and what doesn't work. It's like a relationship. You don't go into just date one person and they're like abusive and they're nasty and they hit you and they say nasty things to you and you're like, well, this is it. This is all I'm going to get. There's no more people out there. There's only 8 billion people on the planet. It's the same thing with your goals. If it doesn't work, then you try it again. You try something else. You tweak it. It's like a recipe, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a baker, but if one piece of that recipe is you put too much salt or you put too much sugar or you don't put enough butter or the butter is too warm or the butter is too cold or whatever, it changes the recipe. It's the same thing for your recipe for life. You need to remove some bad eggs and put some fresh eggs in there, and you will see a massive shift. And it's
Yeah.
not going to be perfect. Like, you're still going to get the shit, but you're going to understand how to change your inner dialogue and how to change the script and how to tweak it. That's why book writers have editors, because sometimes you can't catch that. And so they help you. And so, like a coach or a mentor will also help you through it. People shit on mentors all the time. And the most successful people in the world have mentors: hockey players, gymnasts, actors, singers, rich people, Warren Buffett, Richard Branson, Elon Musk, like Oprah. They all have mentors because you need somebody to mastermind with to help you get out of the funk when you get in it. They give you the kick in the ass that you need so that you continue with your goals. so that you stop complaining. Like oh my god, like if I hear one more person complain about Elf on the Shelf, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. Like, just go buy the fucking Elf. Why are you buying the Elf if it's just making you miserable?
Yeah.
Like, holy, my whole Facebook page is like, well, this Elf, I gotta move this Elf. Oh, the Elf is coming out. Then put the Elf away and the Elf retired.
It's so true though, right? And another thing too that we make up in our mind is like I'm going to start that over. Every single thing we think about is our belief, right? We have a thought, it's a belief that we think, and then we do whatever we think, right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the successful people and you say, well, I don't have time to do that, and all that bullshit comes out of your mouth.
I love that one. It's my favorite.
Like, literally, they have the exact same amount of time in a day as you do, right? They're successful. You're maybe not, or you're working towards it. So when you're looking at your time, what are you doing with your time, right? And we have a time management tracker in our Facebook group. If you want to hop on over there, it's called Money Makers. So if you search it on Facebook, you'll see it. But we have a time tracker in there, which is really helpful because if you sit down and you track your time and you see where it's going, I'm going to tell you right now, you will find time in your day and see where your priorities are. Okay. So when you do that, it's huge to see your change. And I love this. And I love seeing how people use their time. And I love people's excuses because yesterday I was driving through the town next to me, and my husband started laughing. There was two ladies on the sidewalk. They had tables out and they had like quilted blankets, comforters, and like the really fuzzy throw blankets, all brand new. It was a Wednesday. And we're driving through and Will's like, oh my God, like these people have a yard sale, I swear to God, every single day. And I was like, what? I'm like, was that a bad thing? He's like, no. He's like, but it's funny. I said, no, it's not funny. It's they're using their time to their advantage. Their thought process is, I'm home right now. I'm not doing anything. Instead of sitting on the couch and maybe watching my soap opera or watching a movie, I'm going to go sit on the sidewalk, get some fresh air, see everyone going by, share a smile, and maybe sell a blanket. I might make $50. Might make 200, but she's choosing to spend her time doing that instead of having the excuse of, I can't make money. There's no way. I can't be healthy. I can't get outside and get fresh air. I don't have time because I'm watching a movie, right? See the difference in time management? It's crucial.
It's so crucial. Even like, so with your health, right? Like right now, people are like, oh, I don't have time. The holidays are coming up. The busyness with the holidays. The holidays are like 2 or 3 days, maybe a week. So out of those 3 weeks, out of 21 days, you can't focus on your health. Like we make these excuses all the time.
Yeah.
I'm too busy. I have kids. I have a husband. I have laundry. I have to cook. I have to clean. I have to work. I have to scroll.
I have to scroll.
Right? Like how much time? Like, so I've been really what's the word that I'm mindful? I've been really mindful of like Donnie and I being on our phone. So like I've been leaving my phone away, like just walking away from it. But then I'll try to like have a conversation with Donnie. And now Donnie's business is booming, so he's always talking with clients. And I just realized like, wow, our phones really consume us. So like we take a whole day. Saturday is our day. We don't do anything. Like that's how you manage your time is you do what you need to do during the week and then you take a whole day. And so we take a whole day and we don't work. We go out. Like this weekend we're going to go to the Christmas market. Yeah.
I
That
love
time
it.
tracking sheet is amazing.
It is. And it's awesome, right? Because when you get to the part when you're tracking your time, you're seeing where your time's going, and you're involved with knowing where your time is, what your priority is, and you're tracking it, and you start to realize you don't always have to be connected and you can step away and you can choose what you want to do with your time. Like that was me, right? It was so hard to step away from my phone because I'd feel guilty, like I'm going to miss out. Somebody's going to want me. I'm not going to be there, right? Inner dialogue again, making all this up in my head. So now, because I'm so like, if I'm on, I'm on. If I'm off, I'm off. And I've made that strict for myself. So now I'm like, where'd my phone go? Right? Where did it go?
All the time.
But before, I literally you wouldn't see me without it in my hand because I always had to have it. It's like a piece of me. But now I literally left the other day to go to town, and then I got to town and I'm like, oh shit. To pull my phone out to see what else I needed, and I'm like, I don't have it. It's at home, right? So it's so crucial to track your time, know where your time's going, and really sit and analyze your thoughts and ask yourself, why am I talking to myself this way?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
is it serving you?
Yeah. Is it serving me? Is this thought moving me forward? If not, then why am I thinking it, right? And writing it down.
Yeah. And with being Thanksgiving today for American friends, and it should be Thanksgiving for everybody, every single day. I want to encourage you to find 5 things that you're grateful for that you'll normally wouldn't think about. Okay, like we're always grateful for our house and our family and our health, but can you find 5 small things that you can be grateful for, like peeing in a clean toilet? Right? Yeah. How many people out there will never experience that, to pee in clean toilet water? Mm-hmm. Right? Hot shower, the way your organs are working without you telling them what to do, you know, or sitting in traffic. Can you be thankful for sitting in traffic? Because who knows, if that traffic wasn't there, maybe something would have happened. So can you be thankful for 5 small things that you would never think of? I encourage you to do that today and every day.
Yeah. I'm thankful for one of those books on your shelf to be sent to me.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. That's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm so thankful that my hand works perfectly so that I can sign and mail all of these books this weekend. And I love it so much. I'm going to put them up on the website. So if you guys want to order, there'll be some on the website.
Awesome. So yeah, if you guys are interested in a time tracker, time management tracker, head on over to our Facebook group, The Money Makers, and you'll find it there. I think it's in guide 11. We have a few other things there you can grab as well. But yeah, have an absolutely amazing day. Just be aware of how you're talking to yourself and the things that you're doing and saying, because when you can tweak that, you literally can tweak your entire future. So practice on that. If you guys ever have any questions, anything you want us to talk about, now that we're going to be diving into money, everything money, if you have any questions, anything you want us to touch on, let us know. Send us an email to info@asodproteam.com, and we'd be so excited to chat with you. So have an absolutely amazing long weekend. If you're in the States, if you're in Canada, have an amazing weekend. And we will see you guys back here on Monday.
Bye.